Greetings, everyone. Robert Wainscott here. And today I'm going to attempt to answer the question as to whether or not changing the spring that's in the arm of your Bigsby there, will make any difference whatsoever in tuning stability. Will it make it better? Will it make it worse? Who knows? Let's find out. And I know what some of you are already saying. You're saying, you know what? What really makes the difference is you've got to put a roller bridge on. And I want to let you know that I've already put a roller bridge on this instrument. That's the very first thing I did to see if that would help with tuning stability. And it made a little bit of difference, but not all that much. And I can also hear you saying, you know what? A roller bridge doesn't matter. You've got to have like a tusk nut, like one of those self-lubricating nuts. And I'm here to tell you that I put on this instrument a tusk nut because I wanted to see, once the roller bridge didn't do much, well, maybe this tusk nut would do something. And you know what? It really didn't make all that much difference. So then I thought, you know what I really need? I need to make sure that these strings go through straight. And so I got myself one of these string butlers, which I have on several of my guitars. That way the pull is straight through, there's no binding. And I did add Kluson 18-to-1 locking tuners, just to make sure that I had all of my bases covered. So let's review. I've got a roller bridge, I've got a tusk nut, I've got a string butler, and I have locking tuners. So really the only thing that remains is whether or not changing this spring will help with tuning stability. Because as it is now, you know, I've got to say I'm not that much of a fan. And people did warn me. People told me, they said, hey, you know, if you put a Bigsby on, just enjoy not ever being in tune ever again. And I desperately want to prove them wrong and have been working to prove them wrong. Maybe the final edition of a spring will prove them wrong. I should also mention I am playing an Epiphone SG Pro's 61 reissue. And I acquired this guitar for $250, and the reason I purchased it was, well, it had an actual Bigsby on it, not a licensed buy, but it had a Bigsby and it had the mounting plate, and I realized that those two together actually cost more than what the person was selling the guitar for. And, you know, when I wrote the person, it was one of those Facebook marketplace CSI kind of things, and started asking questions. The response was, I don't know. It was there when I got it. I don't know anything about it. And I could see from the photograph, too, you know, the guitar was pretty much caked in filth, and that made me want to buy it even more. So, I have to change my battery pack. Well, let's do that right quick. So, right before my battery died, I think I was ranting about the SG and why I got it. And yes, I got it from someone online. When people don't know often what they have, you never know. There could be other bonuses in the guitar. It could have amazing pickups, or maybe there's a stash of cash hidden in the cavity. Who knows? So I got it for $250. Plus, I knew I was going to use it for some experimentation. I've been working on things like fret leveling, and I've been working on fret work, and I definitely don't want to do that to an expensive guitar. So here's what I'm going to do. Right now, I have the bigger spring. I have a big spring in there. I'll post some pictures. So it's the longer aftermarket spring. And what I'm going to do, it's perfectly in tune. I'm going to play some cowboy chords. I won't bore you with it. I'll speed that up. And then we'll look at the tuning. I'm not going to do any bends or anything. I'm just going to play cowboy chords. And we'll see if it holds its tuning. Then I'm just going to bend some strings. Not with the tremolo arm, but I'm just going to do some string bends. And we're going to see, does it hold its tuning? And then the last test is, we're just going to go crazy with the tremolo, and we're going to see if it holds its tuning. And then, of course, I'll repeat that with its original spring that it came with, and then we'll look at the results, and then we'll know. All right, there's some cowboy chords. Let's look at our tuning. Hopefully my camera down there is catching everything. Let's see. Let's see our E. Not bad. A. Well, you know what? That's almost acceptable. All right, let's do our thing with the small spring. All right, we got some cowboy chords there. Let's see what it did with the smaller original spring. There's our E. And there you have it. Most of our strings went flat. So, what do you think about that? Let's bend the hell out of everything and see what happens then. All right, let's have a look at that. Oh, our E is definitely moved. How about our A? Not too bad on the A. So that's interesting. My E, A, and D string definitely went out of tune when I was bending on those. So now, I'm just going to bend the hell out of all my strings. Let's see what that looks like. So, bending the hell out of my strings, without touching the tremolo. Let's see who's still in tune. I have gone way out of tune on my E string. Flat on my A, flat on my D, flat on my G, flat on my B, and flat on my E. So, let me tune myself back up. And now we're going to do some whammy bar fun. So let's, I don't know. Let's have a look at that and see what happened. Interesting. Now my E is sharp. My A is sharp. My D is sharp. My G is sharp. So I wonder if I give this a slight tap, if that'll go back into... Yeah, weird. You know, a slight tap once you return sometimes will bring it back into pitch. I really don't know why that is. Some people might say, well, you know, this needs to be lubricated and this and that, but I've already lubricated it. It swings freely. Tell you what, let's swap springs and see what happens next. All right, let's go to town. See what that did. Yep, flat on the E. A's in tune. D's in tune somewhat. Now, like with the other one, if I give it a little bit of tap, will it go back in tune? Yes. What can we conclude from this, having just gone through this brief experiment? It seems to me that really the springs don't make an awful lot of difference. And if they do, you know, if a spring's going to fail, let's say it fails at 1%. Well, 1% of a bigger spring is less than 1% of a tiny spring. So I think your margins for error might be a little bit better with the smaller spring, but then you don't get that wide range of motion. It seems to me that this particular Bigsby wants to be kind of knocked back when you're done using it. You do your thing and you give it a little tap, and then you're kind of back in tune. So I really can't say whether or not this video is really going to be helpful to anyone. I've done everything in my power that I can think of. Everything. Like I said, self-lubricating nut with, I should mention, nut sauce. I didn't want to say it earlier because it just sounds funny saying it. You know, locking tuning, 18-to-1 tuning keys, a roller bridge, you know, lubricating the roller arm, a string butler to pull the strings nice and straight and through. I'm just not sure what else could be done. It could be that just Bigsby's don't stay in tune. And I'm sorry, I wish I had something better to tell you about that. Well, thanks for watching. Maybe next time we'll do something of better value, where we actually solve a problem instead of just being frustrated by what's going on.